Everyone, this is Angelica, the intuitive, and today I'm going to talk about what the current energies are as a little mid-month check-in because there's a lot of energy happening this month in April. I did a full channel messages for the month of April. If you haven't already listened to that, that is in the previous episode. But I just wanted to check in on all of you and see how you're feeling with this energy. So basically, which I've been talking about to exhaustion on here, is there's a really big dramatic shifts happening this year from the watery, heavy energy of Pisces into new beginnings, fast pace, momentum of Aries. Those of you who are fire signs are going to feel at home in this energy. You're ready for the passion to be reignited within you, and you're ready to take action in these new beginnings. There is a lot of clarity that is about to come forward. It's like so close for some of us, we can even taste it. But I also still understand that some of us haven't received that clarity yet, and we're like so ready for it. We're like chomping at the bit. I just went on IG Live and I checked in with everyone to see how we're all doing, and I would say about half of us are feeling like, oh my gosh, I kind of feel like I'm still stuck in these old ways and I really want these new beginnings to come forward. And then some of us are in the boat of like, I'm starting to get the clarity and I'm feeling really good. And then some of us are kind of like in that in between, oscillating between both worlds. So you can be in any one of those camps. It's just whatever energy that you currently have. And for me, it's always about reading the energy that you have, accepting it, and then learning how to work with it. So a lot of us right now, like when I tuned into the collective energy, there is like a spiral of active energy that is meant to come forward specifically this week because we have so many of these planets now shifting into Aries. We started the beginning of the year with Saturn and Neptune in Aries. And I love the story of both of these planets in Aries. Neptune is the dreamer and the visionary, a little delusional at times, but conjunct or near Saturn in Aries is a really good balance because Saturn is about discipline, how to bring things into physical reality. It's very practical. So these two planets working together, we're starting to shape this new vision that you have for yourself and bring it into your reality. So this has been happening since the beginning of the year. Now, what's really cool is now we have the personal planets, the sun, and then we had Mars last week move into Aries, and then this week we had Mercury move into Aries. And these are more planets that are going to support the forward momentum and to further clarify what those new beginnings really are. Not just bringing them into a vision, but actually bringing them down into this physical world. Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, moved into Aries last week. So this is the planet of action. So some of us have already been given even just like little intuitive steps of where to go. And it's not I think some of us sometimes hold back from taking that first little tiny step because we think that it's maybe going to be like a drop in the ocean, like it's really not going to matter when we don't realize what a ripple effect that drop in the ocean really is going to have. So if you've been getting little random inklings of your intuition of, okay, I should take a different route on my walk today, or okay, I should go to this coffee shop. Do not deny those. Those are those little action steps that are bubbling up to the surface that are meant to guide you on a bigger path. You're never going to know what that last step is or where it's guiding you because you're probably not prepared to know what that is just yet, but you have to constantly trust your intuition and each step along the way. Now, with Mercury moving into Aries, I love the planet Mercury, maybe because I have a rising Gemini, but I love the planet of Mercury because for a lot of us who are creatives and intuitives, which I can argue is probably anyone who's listening to this episode, you are really ruled by a lot of mercurial energy. Mercury is the planet, is the messenger, and the messenger of God. They are meant to be channels of relaying messages from the divine to the physical world. So this can be creatives who share their voice. Maybe they're speakers, maybe they're writers. This can also be intuitives who channel intuitive messages or channel healing energy to heal others, to help others shift and make transformations. So with Mercury moving into Aries, this is activating a lot of our us who identify as creatives and intuitives, and it's really guiding that path of what is your purpose. Now, when I tune into a lot of, I just did about like 15 readings on IG Live for all of you. And I'm going to start doing those again for free for all of you on Wednesdays around 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to do quick little mini intuitive readings tuning into your energy. So if you're listening to this and you want a mini intuitive reading, you've never had one with me, I'd love to read for you every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But the majority of us are still holding on to heavy energy, and heavy energy can show up as any emotion that feels uncomfortable and that feels not like our true self. So this is fear. I felt into a lot of fear that a lot of us are releasing, and I just noticed that in the collective as well. Just notice when fear is coming up to you. It can even be intensified with this energy because Aries is a fire sign, so it amplifies everything. Think about a fire. When you throw in more things into the fire, it just like grows bigger. So if there is something within you that you're holding on to that is not meant to be there, it might intensify and grow bigger, but that's only so that it can be brought to your awareness to dissolve that, to transform that into something that is more useful, that is more purpose driven. So just notice where you're experiencing fear right now that is meant to be released. And I felt this a lot on our shoulders. I felt this a lot of like bearing the responsibility of caring for others. And then also like that fear of taking that next step towards our purpose. For a lot of us, when we're stepping into the purpose, it is the most vulnerable step that you can take. What your heart really desires and going in that direction, it's so vulnerable. But it is what you came here to do. There can be no denial of that. And you, if you have a desire to bring something to light, I have no doubt in my life, in my mind, that it is meant to come into fruition. So it's so important that you work through this extra fear that you're holding on to so that your heart can really lead and you can make decisions from your heart, which is really tied to our intuition. And it's really tied to our purpose and the direction that we're going into. A lot of you are being called into your heart right now. And so if you're feeling anxious and you like chaotic and you don't know what the next direction is, it's probably because there's a lot of thinking going on, overthinking, a lot of trying to delegate and looking at all these different situations and possibilities. And that's the energy does not need to be there. The energy actually needs to be released from the head and brought into your heart. And when you really tune into your heart, when you find stillness and you have a ritual where you press your hands onto your heart and you constantly practice finding clarity in the mind and tuning into your heart, it will always guide you. And it's truly what feels good for you, what feels right for you. It will always guide you in the right direction. You never have to fear that. If you ever feeling afraid about a decision or um I think with intuition, we get really caught up in a thing of feeling like it's something that I have to do or that I should do versus it's something that like my heart really wants and is set out to do. You could totally desire something, but also be kind of afraid of it too. Like that is normal. But when it is more of that like paralyzing fear, when it just feels wrong and it feels like you're like hitting up against a wall, that is a redirection. The universe is telling you that is not the path you're supposed to go on and you're supposed to go into a different direction. Some other things that came up, a lot of us are releasing past lives. So if you feel like these themes are coming up again of feeling of lack, feeling doubting yourself and your gifts, and you're like, oh, this story, can't I just release it? A lot of this is carried over from past lives, which is why it's taking you longer to work through. So allow yourself to have compassionate that sometimes these things just take longer to heal. And make no mistake that you've healed layers of this already. This is a new layer that you are uncovering and you're meant to discover. Now, for a lot of us, the new beginnings, I think we have like these inklings and maybe we can even feel it, but the full clarity of it hasn't arrived. And I hope that just brings you some solace of like, you're not supposed to have it all figured out yet. All you have to do is tune into what that next direct move is, and it will lead you there and it will guide you. But this week, especially, I think a lot of us are going to have clarity on some forward step to be taking that needs to be done. And it's small. I don't mean like jumping off a cliff by any means, although some of us are ready to take a huge leap of faith in ourselves, for sure do that. It is just taking at least that first small step. So, for example, in one of my one-on-one readings today, the first step was to create a structure and be really disciplined about writing on a regular basis. This person is really gifted in their throat. They're meant to express themselves, but they've been afraid to share their voice, probably afraid of being canceled and all the other doubts that come up when we share on social media or online. But in order for the miracles that want to come forward, lots of miracle energy that is like circling a lot of us right now, by the way, you first need to be really structured and take that first step of like putting your work out there. You're never going to be recognized if your work is not visible and you're putting it out there. So There is a lot of that. There's a lot of throat activations happening of really needing to express yourself and really allowing that to come forward. So those were the main messages. If you want to listen to the full IG Live, there's so many other fun messages that came through. You can now watch it on my Instagram channel. And if you've been feeling heavy in your energy and you're like, I know this isn't my energy, I need to clear it. And at the same time, you've really been wanting to manifest something in your life and it's just been feeling like you've been running your wheels with it, I'm going to be guiding a small group through a 3-month program to get to their next level manifestation. And truly, this is just about shifting your frequency. What I have done and learned in all of my one-on-one readings is when your energy is clear, you are all powerful manifestors. You know what your intuition is, you know what your next step is, but it's just about having the amount of tools and resources of keeping your energy clear so that you can attract the life that you know you are meant to live. For some of us, this is calling in a soulmate partner. For others, this is stepping into our spiritual business that we've been wanting to come alive for years. So if you've had a goal for a really long time and you're ready to move forward with it, send me a DM and I can send you more information on the program. I'm being really selective about this program. I want to keep it super small so that each call that we have, we'll have a coaching call every week. Everyone will get channel messages so that they're staying on track. They're creating a supportive strategy and taking the necessary steps they need to do to actually see transformation. So this is for you if you're willing to make changes in your life and you really want to see radical change this year. There's so much great potential for that. And I'm so excited for those of us who are embarking on that journey and ready to do it. So send me a DM at Angelica_feminine_healer if you'd like more information. Otherwise, I hope to see you soon on my IG Live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I hope you're all working through this energy with as much beauty and grace as we all can. Thank you all for being here.